market in archery today. I would say it is still the UV button. The UV button has been my release of choice for the past year and a half. I switched over from the Spot Hog Wise Guy, and that was an awesome release. That's got an extremely great trigger pull that you can adjust, and it just breaks very crisply and cleanly. I had no complaints about the Wise Guy. Incredible release. It still lives in my backpack as a backup in case I lose my button release. The UV button also has this contoured knob. The contoured knob is super nice. It's like very grippy, so your thumb's not slipping off that thing at all. The other cool thing is you can change it out. So you can change colors, you can change designs, you can change it out to fit your style, have something a little more grippy, a little different grip, but I will say the one that is stock, I've had no issues with. My thumb has never had a problem gripping repeatedly on that thumb barrel. It's also got a hunting bracket third finger. So this third finger is also removable, and you can put you can do certain modifications, and they have stuff on their website where you can replace that third finger. I will say I think I've become a better bow hunter with this release. I love having the ability to just clip it onto my D-loop when I'm whitetail hunting. I primarily whitetail hunt. I also travel and do elk hunting, bear hunting. It gives me confidence. I've shot the farthest I've ever shot. You know, I didn't shoot past 60 yards with a wrist strap. And this year at Mountain Archery Fest and Total Archery Challenge, I was shooting over 100 yards on certain targets and hitting the target. So I've been really increasing my long range capacity. I've got the new dialed Arxo sight, great company, great sight. The 3-pin slider on the dialed Arxo really stretch it out there. So the sight tapes you can build, and you can have them go out to well over 100. The reason I chose the UV button is I wanted to start to kind of dabble in some sort of back tension type stuff, but also have the ability to use that thumb button to force a shot when you're whitetail hunting and stuff like that. So with the UV button, the ergonomics of this release feels so good. It just sits in your hand nicely. The drawing is also very different. So if I were to be using my wrist strap release, I'm gonna draw like that. I like drawing like this. I feel like it just puts more of the load on your back, and it can just kind of sit nicely against your face. You can get some good anchor points with it. I liked having the knuckles as an anchor point. So right off the bat, I really liked that about the release. It feels good, it feels secure, and it's just got a real clean break, and you can adjust the trigger, and you can extend it out, you can move it in, you can move the barrel around, which I've done 0 modifications to it. So this is exactly how it came out of the box, and that's exactly how I've been using it. The only thing I worry about with the UV button is the fact that you can probably lose it a little easier. So I haven't lost it yet, so if you do go this route, you may want to get a backup one. The only problem with that is they're $350. So this is an extremely kind of expensive high-end thumb button release, but I would say it's worth the money as long as you're somebody who does not lose things easily and who knows how to keep track of stuff. So I primarily bow hunt. I do a little bit of 3D archery, and my method of containing this when I'm backcountry bow hunting is through my marsupial pouch. On your marsupial bino pouch, you've got a side pocket, and the UV button fits perfectly in there. So you can push it down, and honestly, I've never even worried about it coming out. Like you can pull around on it. I've been bouncing around through Colorado, up in the Rockies, walking around, just all sorts of stuff, backpacking, and this has never even come close to falling out of that side pocket. And this is just your old school basic marsupial, no side enclosure. That little built-in pocket fits the UV button perfectly. So when I'm backcountry hunting and I have my bino pouch on, that's where it lives. If I'm whitetail hunting, I will choose a pocket, because I don't usually wear my binocular harness when I'm whitetail hunting. I'll usually put it in a chest pocket of, you know, if I'm wearing a Sitka vest or something, I'll just unzip it somewhere with a zippered pocket secured that I can still get to. Let's say you walk and bump a buck on the way to your tree stand, and for some reason you get a shot opportunity. You want it nearby, so I can pick a spot and do that. The other reason I really like this for whitetail hunting, so you pull the trigger, you click it, and this will just clip right onto your string. And now it's just sitting there. So I'll have this hanging off my tethered bow hook when I'm saddle hunting, and it's just hanging there, and it'll just chill right there. And as soon as I see a deer, I'm ready to draw back, it's already there, and I can pull back. I like having that, whereas you're not wearing something on your wrist all the time that kind of flops around, gets in the way when you're climbing the tree. This just stays out of the way. It's pretty small, low profile. So those are just the everyday carry around type things about the UV button that I really like, and that's kind of been my system that's worked really well for me to just not losing the thing. But that is also the major point of concern. I've come up with some good ways to address it, but there's still the possibility that you could lose it a lot easier than the wrist strap. You can put a little tether on there, and you can have that like around your wrist. So if you want to do that, there's options. Now, as far as shooting the release, I love it. I love that I can just pull against the back wall, and you know, I guess if you looked at my form, you'd probably say you're a trigger puncher, and I don't really care. I think that back tension is great for people that are shooting targets and who, you know, are actually in tournaments. Yeah, you're gonna get the most accurate repeatability by doing a clean, crisp, pull through, surprise release. But when you're in a hunting situation, you don't always get that opportunity. I get in a zone when a deer's walking my way, it's weaving through trees. You might get a split second where you've got to be ready to force that shot through a tree gap this big, and he's broadside and he hits it at the right second, and you've got to be able to fire that thing on demand. And I'm perfectly accurate forcing a shot 40, 50 yards. And when I'm practicing target stuff, yeah, I do work on the surprise release. I do all that crap, but people are always going to comment and say, oh, you're a trigger puncher. And I just don't care. I've shot enough deer trigger punching my butt off, and I can put that arrow exactly where I want it to go by punching the trigger. So, you know, shoot your own game. And this gives you the ability to, you can punch the crap out of it if you want, you know. Boom, force your shot, or, you know, really pull into that back wall and just let it break away. I like that about it. It's very versatile, and I like the trigger. You can adjust the travel and the force. You've got two little areas with Allen screws that you can adjust those two things, how much force you need to apply to actually have it break. So very adjustable release, very clean braking. Yeah, I've stretched out my distance a lot, and I've got a lot of confidence in that release and being able to have a repeatable anchor point. So all in all, I'm gonna give the UV button 5 out of 5 stars. This is gonna be living on my bow, in my bino harness, in my whitetail pack for at least another season. We'll see if they come out with anything else, but for now, I'm gonna be using the UV button. Love this little guy. I can't recommend it enough. It's expensive. If money is an issue, then yeah, don't buy it. But if you got some money to blow and you're looking for a new release that's top of the line, that's gonna help you improve your groups, that's just really ergonomic and just a joy to use, then yeah, I would get the UV button. I have not gone back to my Wise Guy. I think this is gonna be my release from now on. I always have the Wise Guy in my bag just in case I want to use it. So always have a backup release. I've thought about getting an additional one just as a backup. But yeah, is it worth the money? To me, it is. If you're looking for a high quality release that's extremely adjustable, that you can keep track of and you can learn how to shoot. It's not hard to learn how to shoot this thing. I would recommend it. It's one of the best releases on the market that I've used. There's nothing wrong with the Wise Guy. The Wise Guy isn't very cheap either. I can't remember the price tag on that. It's not $350. It's probably $150 to $200. Still inexpensive, but very reliable wrist strap release. So I could recommend either one, but those are my thoughts on the Ultraview button. So if you've got any comments, questions, concerns, if you agree, disagree, or you've got a different release that you like to shoot, drop a comment, drop a like. If you found any value in this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more archery content and solo hunting experiences. Hunt solo public. I'll see you on the next one.